me? Mr. Hens, was it?
Walter Hens, a pleasure. You're the one from the Old Man, right? The rebel with the flag?
Hans Naumann. And he was not the rebel. That was the entire
Is this the only case you have ever solved?
While I do appreciate the nice conversation, I must ask, why are you here?
Right. Not one for small talk, are you now? I'm here on behalf of my wife. She wishes she could do it herself, but her health isn't what it... Honestly, Tessie's never been a beacon of health, but it has been getting worse and...
Mr. Hens, the case?
It's about her girl, Anna. Anna Kazmirek. She was only 19 when they killed her. When they, had her killed.
What do you mean by that? Who had her killed?
You lot. Lawyers, judges, the whole circus. Sent her to the guillotine for looting, called her a traitor to the nation. She was innocent.
You'll have to explain that.
That's why I'm here. Do you remember the bombing of Brunswick in '44?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
Figures. Only so many tragedies one can remember without going mad. The whole city almost burned down. I doubt any words could ever give it justice. The Tommies hit us overnight. They lit the whole city like a Christmas tree when they started the firestorm. Come morning, nothing was left of the old town, and not much of everything else.
That's terrible. I am sorry I have to ask, but how is it connected to the case?
Anna lost everything that day, other than her mother. Their place was hit by a bomb. The whole block, gone in an instant. Not a stone left standing.
A firestorm?
That's what it's called. Have you ever seen a pillar of flame rising to the sky, Miss Katz? Not a sight I'd wish on anybody.
Christmas tree? That's a peculiar analogy.
Not really. It's how we called their markers. They drop flares of various colors, lighting up the panorama like... well, a Christmas tree.
Her mother? You mentioned she's your wife?
Yes, Tessie. Teresa Hens. She was born out east, a small village in... would be Masovia now? Poland. Came to Brunswick with her husband after the First War. Had Anna on the way, in a train car. She sends her apologies for not being here herself.
When did you and Teresa marry?
A few months after the execution. It wasn't love, just the right thing to do. With Anna gone, she had no one to take care of her, and she was in no position to provide for herself. I was doing well with my pub, so I offered to help. It's not the most romantic of stories.
Tell me about Anna.
She was a good kid, no matter what they say. Mixed parentage from her mother's side, Prussian-Polish family. It earned her more than a few side eyes. Anna had to work hard for it. Someone had to look after the family. But she was a young girl. She wanted to have fun when she could. The morning after the bombing, Anna went to the ruins. Spent the whole day digging through the rubble, searching for, well, anything.
You mean the ruins of the house?
Yes, an older tenement house for some of the lower classes. Not the first place they lost. Believe it or not, it was actually their third home destroyed by the bombings.
You said she was sentenced for looting. I'm sorry, but I have to ask, did she loot anything?
No. She had found a few things, but everything belonged to her or her mother. Anna was no thief.
Do you know what she found?
I know of a few things. Her mother's scarf and coat, fur, a pair of boots, and a crucifix from back east. Then some knickknacks, a family photo, a few pieces from her mother's cutlery set, clothes probably. All in all, barely enough to fill a bag or two, and a suitcase supposedly.
Were you there with her?
If only, but I was nowhere near. I only learned about any of this when it was already too late. It happened a few days later. I was at my place.
Were you affected by the bombing?
No, I had a small apartment above my pub. Luckily, it was out of the way, so the Tommies didn't target that area.
And who's Heidi?
Grunewald, Heidi Grunewald. A close friend of Anna. Both of them had been assigned to the same emergency shelter.
She asked for your help? Help with what?
Someone had planted a suitcase in Anna's room and accused her of stealing it from the ruins. The police came and, for some reason, the bastard seemed dead set on making the accusation true. That's what it was about at first. No treason, no looting, just a simple theft. And not even that was true.
What did you do?
I followed her to the shelter, of course, running through the city. But we were too late. The bastards must have grown tired of Anna denying their accusations, decided to make her confess. They beat it out of her. By the time we arrived, they were long gone, leaving the kids. It was bad.
The kids? Somebody was still there?
Yes, two of them. Anna's boyfriend. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. And the Becker's girl, Emilia. Poor sods. They saw it all and couldn't do jack to stop it.
Emilia Becker. Who was she?
Her family was also placed in that shelter. Shop owners. Local girls, stuck up. They knew each other with Anna and Heidi. I don't think they got on too well.
What can you tell me about Anna's boyfriend?
They had dated for a while. Can't say how long. I've seen him around, but I can't say I remember much. Military sort, I think. Heidi would know more. You'll have to ask her.
Where was that?
Can't give you the address. It was a temporary emergency shelter, one of many. A once upper-end flat, run down and filled with as many people who lost their homes to the bombing as they could squish. Cramped, but a roof over their head. I kept it together as much as I could. Tried talking to them, get them to tell me what happened. Wasn't an easy job.
The boyfriend, what did he do?
He was curled up in a corner, sobbing, a sad sight. Wouldn't calm down. For a long while, he didn't even respond to anything we said.
How did Heidi react?
Bad. She took it hard. Not one to cry, though. She went with anger instead. Started yelling at the boy that he was supposed to keep them there. Didn't get much of a reaction.
The Becker girl, what was she doing?
Avoiding us. She had locked herself in her family's room before we arrived and refused to come out.
So, what happened? What's the case?
The case is that Anna was innocent and they took her. They beat her. They killed her. Tortured her until she said what they wanted, confessed to something she didn't do. And then they cut her head off.
Can you tell me something more about this Heidi Grunewald?
Local girl, strong, hard. All of the Grunwalds were. Good people, but poor people, and quite a lot of them, each with a mouth to feed. Heidi was yay big the first time they pulled her. Gave the rascal her first night in a cell, pickpocketing. Gave her a job right after that, to keep her off the street. Gave one to Anna soon after. They were already friends.
Mr. Hens, why did she come to you specifically?
I had some previous encounters with the Force, unavoidable for a business owner. Well, let's not sugarcoat it. I had a file at the district. Nothing serious, but enough for me to learn how to talk with the blokes. Even find a few sympathetic ears down at the station. Heidi hoped I could talk to them. The next day, they put her on trial. A sham. Nobody was allowed to testify. There was no proof. Her lawyer just sat there, silent. And they changed the accusation, made it a case of looting instead of theft. A treasonous act for some reason.
And that's why they gave her the death sentence?
Yes, some law allowed them to do it, because they made her a so-called folk pest, a traitor.
Why did they change the accusation?
To hell if I know. Maybe they wanted a show. Or the policeman wanted a promotion and made it out to be a bigger crime. Or whoever made up the whole story of her crime decided it needed more flair. I tried to learn more on what really happened there, why it happened. But as a civilian, they wouldn't give me much. All I have is here. This and my wife. Once she feels better, she wants to testify.
Mr. Hens, I'm terribly sorry. But while this story is awful, I am a prosecutor. It is not for me to prove people's innocence. On the contrary, I accuse them.
But you should accuse them, Miss Katz. All of them. Every single one of the bastards. The bastard who planted a damn suitcase in her room and called the cops, knowing full well it would get her killed. The policeman who tortured her until she said what they wanted to hear. Her lawyer, her judge, especially the judge.
Your wife's testimony? What could she tell us? Was she present at the arrest?
No, but they used her against Anna. A few days after the trial, they came demanding she denounce her own daughter. Threatened her with complicity, promised lenience if she cooperated. They fed her word for word the lies, the calumnies to write and sign about her own daughter, about that damn suitcase. She can tell you the truth. She wants to tell you the truth. She's adamant she can prove there was no crime in the first place.
Very well. I'll take it up to Mr. Bauer and talk to him about opening a case.
Thank you, Miss Katz. Thank you. I leave our number with your secretary. We'll keep in touch regarding Tessie's health. Arrange a time for her to appear.
But I can't make any promises yet.
I know. Still, thank you for giving it a chance.
The case might be for us. I'd better talk to Mr. Bauer.
Miss Katz, it's always good to see you. I take it our unexpected guest has piqued your curiosity.
I didn't realize you knew about it already.
Miss Fisher keeps me updated, and I must admit, I've vested some interest in his case. Or Miss Kazmierek's case, I should say. I assume that is why he came.
I think we should take this case.
Miss Katz, I understand your sentiment, but we don't really prove people's innocence here.
But we can prove other people's guilt. The crimes committed against Miss Kazmierek, our victim.
An interesting approach. Very well, color me intrigued. What are your leads?
Mr. Hens gave me two names, Heidi Grunewald and Emilia Becker. Both of them had previous history with Miss Kazmierek and were present at her arrest.
Their testimonies would make for a good starting point. But there is more, I hope.
There are a few witnesses to Anna Kazmierek's arrest I still need to identify. The policemen themselves, of course, and the victim's boyfriend. Sadly, Mr. Hens couldn't remember his name.
It should easily come up in the investigation. Same case for the officers. But there is more, I hope.
There's the victim's mother, Teresa Kazmierek. She's now married to Mr. Hens. She wants to testify, but it's made difficult by her health. They'll be in touch as soon as she's able to come. She wants to set the record straight about a false opinion or testimony she was forced to give. And more importantly, she believes she can prove Anna committed no crime in the first place.
Oh, that would make the case quite a bit easier. Almost realistic.
Then there's the documents, of course, from the arrest and the trial. The denunciation itself, if we're lucky.
Wouldn't that be something? Very well, I don't think I have any questions. I agree it's a good case for us. For you, more specifically. The investigation is yours, Miss Katz. The case of Anna Kazmierek versus, well, who? To start, there are three things I believe would serve you well to explore. First, the inciting incident. Why did the police come? How did they know about Anna and her potential crime? Then the most obvious, the beating. Did Anna confess of her own will, or was she coerced? And last, but quite interesting, if the police were there to arrest her for theft, why was she tried for looting and treason instead?
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Bauer.
The pleasure's all mine, as per usual. Now I believe you've got your work cut out for you.
I should start with the files. If the case was investigated before, there should be something in the archive. And the law that Mr. Hens mentioned, I should ask Paula to find the exact reference.
How did it go?
We have a new case. I need you to start digging up files immediately.
Right. Goes without saying.
We know of 5 witnesses who were present at the time of the crime, but we only have 2 names. And we have the victim's mother willing to testify, once her health allows it, whenever that would be.
Yes, Mr. Hens told me about it. Left their number. I'll get in touch and try to arrange that. Can't say I'm happy with him calling me a secretary, though.
Heidi Grunewald, a friend and co-worker of Anna. She's the reason why Mr. Hens knew of the situation. She should be able to tell us what happened. And she might know the name of another witness, the victim's boyfriend.
Should I invite her?
Not yet. Emilia Becker. She was assigned to a room in the same shelter as Anna. By the time Mr. Hens arrived, she had locked herself in, but she must have seen...
Should I invite her?
Not yet. The policeman who took Anna. I need to know how many there were. Their name, anything you can find.
I'll do my best.
One of the witnesses that Mr. Hens recognized. Unfortunately, he was... I know there isn't much to go on, but can you start looking for him?
I'll do my best.
I need you to find me the decree about the folk pest law. It would seem it was used in Anna's case to justify her verdict.
Reich Law Gazette 168. This one I know by memory. I'll have a copy for you by tomorrow.
Emilia Becker. She was a...
Should I?
Yes.
On it.
Thank you, Paula.
Oh, be careful when you go downstairs. Someone just broke the window. Again.
Oh. Hello, Katz.
Hit us.
Sorry, I thought you were Paula. She's been on my ass all day.
I wanted to hear your opinion about my new case. All right.
Let me stop you right there, Katz. I have no intention of doing your job for you. And I'm busy. Ugh, but if you say Brunswick, that's Bauer's old territory. You'll probably find something in the archives.
Don't you look majestic up there? Keeping watch?
What? Where? Oh. How did she get there?
Oh, hello, Marlene. Meow. I never thought our office would be the crime scene. Or that I'd get used to it. Last month's Motortrends and a Birgit from last year. Wouldn't be my first reading choice, but with how long you have to wait for a prosecutor. Traitors. Very inventive. Ah, the Corpus Delicti. Torn straight from the sidewalk. What a mess, as always. And what's that? Did someone forget their files? And the heater. Need to remember to bring an... How long has... Looks like something from Peter's investigation. It's not like him. There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Yes, but I assure you Mr. Volmut has your best... in your postbox. But these people are all... yes, I understand. I will tell Mr. Volmut. Yes, Miss Katz. Everything's... No. Everything's not fine. That was a horrible call.
I can imagine. Do you want to talk about it?
I really shouldn't without talking to Mr. Volmut first. He'll hear soon enough. It was one of Mr. Volmut's witnesses. She wants out.
Did she tell you why she wants out?
Same as always. Threats against her and her family. They even sent her photographs of her children. Monsters.
How important was this witness for Christoph's case?
It's going to be tough. He spent weeks prepping her. I won't be surprised if I find him sleeping in the office for the next couple of days.
Does this happen often?
It feels like every other week. Most of the time we can convince them to stay on, but it is getting harder.
Don't let this grind you down, Paula.
I won't. Can't give them the satisfaction. Emilia Becker is here. I brought her to the conference room. But I'm afraid our office is not up to her standards.
Is it now?
Yes, it lacks a woman's touch.
Charming. Thank you, Paula. Mrs. Becker, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure, Mrs. Katz. Though I'm afraid I might not be of much help.
It's Miss, not Mrs. I'm not married.
Oh, I see. I had assumed a woman your age. To each their own, I suppose.
I have some questions regarding an older case.
I had assumed as much. We've read all about Dr. Bauer's team in the papers.
It's regarding one Anna Kazmirek.
Oh,
I take it you knew her.
yes. That poor girl. God bless her soul. She was far from a saint, but she did not deserve this fate.
You will have to elaborate on that one.
I'd rather not speak ill of the departed. It's not my place to judge, you see. But there were rumors, and I happen to know some of them for a fact. She was, well known in some of the bad circles for being loose, lax with her morals. May the Lord forgive her.
You were present at her arrest. Do I have that right?
I had the misfortune. It was just a few days after the bombs fell. Like many others, my family had lost our home. But we were lucky enough to find ourselves with a room in an emergency shelter. The same one Anna had been assigned to, she and that poor mother of hers.
What happened?
If that isn't the question, you know, to this day, I still ask it myself. What happened? Well, I suppose you could say Mr. Kirchmann had enough.
What can you tell me about this shelter?
It was a sizable apartment, confiscated from some bankers. We were based in, I assume, the old servants' quarters, together with 2 other families. One was Anna and her mother, and the other, I can't quite recall the name. A horrible, horrible girl and hers. Either way, she was a friend of Anna's. Probably where it all went wrong, if you ask me.
What can you tell me about life in the shelter?
Oh, it was simply terrible. I don't like to think about it. Though I know just having a roof over our head was a blessing.
Did you salvage anything from your old home?
Yes, naturally. From the house and the shop. Luckily, our cellar didn't collapse, so most of what we stored there survived.
You said the apartment used to belong to some bankers?
Yes, or at least that sort. Might have been jewelers, now that I think of it. The Gellers, I believe. Or was it Roths?
How were the tasks divided among the people in the shelter?
I would say fairly. My dear father made sure of that. He had experience running the family shop, so he took it on himself to establish a rotation of tasks.
When you say we, who do you mean?
My family, all 5 of us. My parents, me, and my 2 younger brothers. Somehow, we all made it out of the fire. It was nothing short of a miracle.
What happened to you during the bombing?
I'm sorry, that's a difficult topic. I almost died that night. The bomb that hit our house, it fell right through my room. There was nothing left of my bed. I'm lucky my younger brother was scared of the dark, and I had to stay with him. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. I was in the kitchen when I overheard Mr. Kirchmann's voice outside the room. He was on the phone, seemingly unaware of how loudly he was speaking.
What can you tell me about Mr. Kirchmann?
Well, his first name is Wolfgang. He was a friend. Poor thing. Got himself all tangled up with Anna. She had her ways with men. He was a good person, steadfast, brave, or so I thought. That's why I found it all so weird.
Did you hear what Mr. Kirchmann was saying?
It was hard not to. I still remember his exact words. It's Anna Kazmirek. He was talking to the police. I pretended not to have heard anything. After all, it was not my place to meddle in their affairs. I was even almost willing to think I might have misheard or imagined it all. But then they arrived.
The policeman, I assume?
2 officers. An older gentleman and his young colleague.
The older one, what can you remember about him?
He was on the shorter side, though much more robust than his companion. Looked around 50, give or take. He was very kind, warm. Had just the kindest of smiles, framed by quite the moustache. And I distinctly remember he had just the thickest of glasses. Wasn't sure if he could see anything at all.
Can you describe the younger officer for me?
He looked about your age, really tall, almost hit his head at the doorframe. It looked rather awkward how thin he was, just skin and bones, let me tell you.
What did the officers want?
Isn't it obvious? They wanted to talk to Anna. Mr. Kirchmann was more than happy to show them in.
And this friend's family?
The usual riff-raff, except for the father. He seemed respectable enough. Fought in the First War, I believe. God only knows how he ended up with that wife and those children. Each one worse than the last.
Tell me about Anna's family.
There isn't much to say. It was just her and her mother, Teresa. Poor woman, with a daughter like this. Can you imagine?
Do you remember who was there on that day?
Not in our section, no. Just me and Mr. Kirchmann in the kitchen, and Anna with that horrible friend of hers.
Were you in the habit of listening in on your neighbors' phone calls?
I beg your pardon? I was most certainly. We were all living so close to each other. It was hard to not overhear anything. Besides, well, Mr. Kirchmann and I were friends. I was concerned for him. I stayed in the kitchen. So did Mr. Kirchmann.
How did Mr. Kirchmann react to the officers? Anything unusual?
I admit I was rather taken aback. I never thought he'd do something like this. He looked rather pleased with himself. The way she treated him. He must have been happy there were some consequences for Anna at last.
What happened then?
After a few minutes, one of the officers came out, the older one. He was joined by that girlfriend of Anna's. It was her family's room they were in. Heidi! That's the name. She led him to Anna's room to look for whatever she had stolen. He didn't let her follow him in.
Did you or anyone else enter Anna's room while you were waiting?
Why would anyone... Oh! I see. You think we put something there? The stolen suitcase? That we set her up?
I'm just investigating all possible leads.
Well, I didn't. And nor did Wolf. The girl had done it all to herself. The girl, Heidi, thankfully she didn't stay long. She was long gone by the time the officer returned. He was holding a suitcase. Mr. Kirchmann almost jumped at the sight.
Did he say anything?
He said it was the suitcase he'd seen Anna steal, and he called her a traitor. I couldn't believe my ears.
So Wolf Kirchmann confirmed that it was Anna who stole that suitcase?
Enthusiastically, and more than that. Apparently, Anna had not just stolen, but looted it from an abandoned building. That was treason. It made me feel so conflicted.
And why was that?
I admit, I felt rather uncomfortable in this situation. After all, it is written, do not judge, or you too will be judged. But with Anna, with Mr. Kirchmann, I apologize. It was just dreadful. Dreadful.
What do you remember about the suitcase?
I didn't give it a good look. It was none of my business after all. I think it was on the larger side, leather, and very dirty.
None of your business? One moment. Never mind. Please continue.
I think it was on the larger side, leather, and very dirty. Ugly, even.
What was your relationship to Wolf?
We were friends, used to be at least. We grew distant over time. Mostly because of Anna, I suspect. I don't like to listen to rumors, but she did have a way about men. She sunk her claws in Wolf, wrapped him around her finger. I did try to warn him, but had he listened, maybe this whole tragedy could have been avoided.
How would you describe Wolf and Anna's relationship?
They were a couple. A rather indecent affair, I must say.
How so?
Anna was, well, let's just say she had many acquaintances.
How did you and Miss Kazmarek get along?
We didn't, to put it short. I did my best to keep my distance from the girl. Same with her friend, Heidi. Nothing good could ever come from associating with their type.
Was there a Mr. Kazmarek?
Not that I know of, but again, I wasn't too close with the Kazmareks. The officer thanked Mr. Kirchmann, told him not to worry, that he was doing the right thing. He shook his hand, took the suitcase and left for the stairs. I was just about to do the same, but that was when it started.
When what started?
It came from the other room, where Anna was with the officer. An argument, that's what I thought at first. Just some raised voices, right? Emotions running slightly high. But I don't know what she did. She must have done something to provoke him, right?
Mrs. Becker, what happened in there?
I didn't see it. I swear, I didn't see any of it. I just heard it. Heard them. Her screaming. His shouting. I heard her fall to the floor and he was beating her. She didn't fall. He threw her and he kicked her and he beat her and the insults. She begged him to stop.
And what did Wolf do?
I don't know. I hid in my room as soon as it started.
So the other officer was already gone by this point?
Yes, must have been at least halfway down the stairs.
Which would make him uninvolved in the beating. Did Miss Kazmarek have any previous encounters with the police?
I wouldn't be surprised. I know her friend did. And with the sort of people she dealt with, sooner or later, it would have happened.
How would you describe Heidi's relationship with Miss Kazmarek?
I'd rather not describe it at all. A dreadful pair they made. There were rumors, not that I normally pay them much mind, but that the two of them might even be involved with each other in a, well, more intimate way.
What can you tell?
A menace. There's a saying, all it takes is one bad apple. And that girl was rotten.
What can you...
It was tough, but such were the times. Nobody had it easy during the war. Compared to some others, I'd say we were still lucky. My father was able to keep his business running, which brought the bread.
How did he know about this theft?
She had confided in him, bragged even, the way he put it. I don't remember the details, but it sounded just awful. Awful! I locked the door, got on my parents' bed. Tried not to hear it.
Do you know why Wolf would report her? Weren't they a couple?
Yes, I can only guess, but it must have had to do with her lifestyle. I suppose if he learned of her cheating, then maybe it was a revenge of sorts. How dreadful. Then again, if he knew of her crime, which he obviously did, then wasn't it the right thing to do?
Did you see anything else?
No, I'm sorry. I stayed in that room for a long time. It was only when my father came back that I opened the door. It was already evening by then, long since they left.
Thank you, Mrs. Becker.
Of course, Miss Katz. I pray you can put this...
We have a name for the victim's boyfriend, Wolf Kirchmann.
Wolfgang, yes. He was very easy to find he's still in the military as it turns out. Oh, and I have some good news.
What's the good news?
Mrs. Kasmirek, no, Mrs. Hens, agreed to a date for her testimony. Tentative for now, but I hear she's been feeling better. I put her on the calendar. We should have enough time to interview one more witness before her.
Good, thank you. Did you manage to contact him?
I've tried to reach out, but, well, the military is at best less than helpful. The message I got was politely worded, of course. I'm sorry, it'll take a bit longer to get him.
I need you to invite the next witness.
Who should I reach out to?
The victim's boy.
I tried to reach out to him, but I'll need some more
This Heidi...
on it.
There's nothing left for me to...